These days we hear much about systemic racism, but I want to share with you about a system that can resist racism. In fact, the more that people bring racism into the system, the less this system works. I'm talking about a free market economy. Most people like the idea of a free market economy, except when it's called by another name, capitalism. But capitalism results when people in a free market economy gain capital, meaning assets with which they can grow their business. And everyone in a free market economy wants assets. They're working to gain assets. So let's call it free market to free it from prejudice against capitalism. I'm going to explain how the free market system works best for everyone when there is no discrimination against anyone. I'm George Farrar, founder of End Times Guide, and I want to welcome you to the second short video in our 5-video course, Best National Conditions for the Gospel and Church Growth. In this course, we look at the best economic conditions, the best social conditions, and the best political conditions for the churches and the gospel to thrive. This video is called Best Economic Conditions for the Gospel and Church Growth. Why start with the economy? Because our economic freedom is far greater than our social freedom or political freedom. In most of the Western world, we have more economic freedom to choose what we buy and sell, but less social freedom to choose what social group we belong to, and even less political freedom to choose the political policies and laws of our nation. Also, the more economic freedom people have, the more assets they can gain to promote and exercise social freedom and political freedom. Let me repeat that. The more economic freedom people have, the more assets they can gain to promote and exercise social freedom and political freedom. In a free market economy, all citizens are free to learn a business, get qualified for a business, start a business, end a business, or look for a job or quit a job. The free market is the great equalizer. Whatever you buy, you usually don't know if it was produced by a Democrat or Republican, a white or a black, an Asian or Hispanic, a man or a woman. And it doesn't matter who you sell to. The price is the same for everyone. If you discriminate in your hiring, you're limiting your own freedom and you're giving a bigger choice to your competitors, who will eventually beat you if you keep limiting your freedom to choose, because they have more talent to draw from. The market favors non-discrimination. The market favors those who are impartial and have no prejudice, no prejudgment. When you have a free market that is not under government control, only God is sovereign over the market. And God says in Leviticus 19:35-36, "You shall do no wrong in judgment, in measurement of weight or capacity. You shall have just balances, just weights." Unquote. Justice for everyone. The free market provides a level playing field for everyone to buy and sell as they choose, to hire and fire as they choose, and for each one to find a job, learn that job, and improve at that job until he can choose and find a better job. All these choices of buying and selling and hiring and working, all these choices are the most free when they're not influenced by social or political prejudice. The more people base their choices on prejudice, the less the economy becomes free for everyone, fair for everyone, and productive for everyone. Prejudice can be either social or political. The more people show prejudice against any social group, any race, ethnic group, creed, or sex, the more they miss out on what that social group has to offer, and the more the whole economy suffers from not using their talents. For example, as soon as Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, baseball got a lot more talent and a lot more spectators to watch that talent. The more people show prejudice against a political group, the more they miss out on what that political group has to offer, and the more the whole economy suffers from the lack of their talents. tech giants like Facebook and Twitter are censoring conservative and Christian content. And they're losing conservative and Christian customers who are now looking for other social media. But when parts of the economy shut out conservatives, those parts miss out on their talents, their ideas, their innovations. If parts of the economy shut out liberals, we'd miss them too, because competition from them forces conservatives to improve. Likewise, competition from non-Christians force Christians to improve. Christians need to show that the gospel is not only good news, it's the best news for everyone. And it's not fake news either. We need to show that the church can provide not only good relationships, it can promote the best relationship you can have forever with God. More on this in our video on spiritual conditions. So Christians should promote free markets, whether it's a marketplace of ideas or the marketplace of products. Obviously, the more ideas, products, and talents we have on the market, the more people have to choose from. When we say let the market decide, in a sense we're saying let the people decide. When people have a choice of products, their top choices will stay on the market, and the rest of the products will drop out of the market, unless any of them improve. In that sense, the free market is the most democratic institution that we have. Every time people buy things, they're voting products onto the shelves and off the shelves. They're voting for or against services, which we can call personal products. And every time people buy things, they're voting for or against the businesses that provide the products. So the free market gives continual motivation for businesses to offer people the best products at the lowest prices, because that's what people will choose. The free market gives continual motivation for businesses to innovate and improve their products. So businesses should want the biggest talent pool possible. They should want everyone to have equal opportunity to participate in every business according to the same rules. But the market itself cannot set the rules of the game. We need the government to set the rules and to enforce the rules. The main rules we need from government are: 1, laws against discrimination; 2, laws that enforce contracts made by the free choice of both parties; 3, laws against any one person forcing another person against their free choice; 4, laws that protect property and allow the owner free use of that property as long as it doesn't infringe on other people's property and rights; and 5, laws that prevent monopolies from limiting people's choices. And then, of course, we need a court system to prosecute violations of those laws. The government can then promote the laws, which are the rules of the game, and act as the referee for the game. The role of the government is referee. The problem comes when the government wants to play the game. When the referee plays the game, he has an unfair advantage against his competitors because he will always decide in his own favor. Worse problems come when the government gets rid of the competition and takes over the whole playing field and becomes a monopoly. That's what happens in socialism. Who wants to pay to watch referees play football? But that's what we're paying for when we pay taxes to a socialist government. We're paying for referees to play games that they aren't good at. Nobody will want to watch them. And then they'll break the rules because nobody's watching. And they'll become more and more corrupt, and they'll avoid accountability. That's what happens when a socialist government takes over a market activity, whether housing, insurance, package delivery, communications, media, etc. If the government allows competition, it will still have an unfair advantage over that competition. But if it monopolizes an activity, it takes that activity off the market and becomes ineffective because it does not let the market decide or the people decide. As a monopoly, The government has no competition to motivate it to produce the best products at the lowest prices, and no competition to motivate it to improve its products. A government may be good at government, but only a business can be good at business. Socialists want government to control business, but they only succeed in creating two more social classes: the social class of the party bureaucrats and the social class of the working class that serves the bureaucrats. So our next video is called The Best Social Conditions for the Gospel and Church Growth. Before you see it, please read Genesis 1:26 to 2:25. And get ready to learn how to bring godly influence into any society. You can also learn more about these issues in the End Times Guide website links below. Thanks for joining this session.